Yeah, you want me to say it's soft.
No, I do not want
if it's soft, Josh. Ask me if it's soft.
I just want to know
beating
your
around the bush.
honest opinion. I'm just trying to get your honest. I do not want to put out that is not me saying that. Europe is multiple countries, and I don't know if that's soft or not. I've never touched it.
I know what's going to happen. You're going to bait me into saying it's soft, and then you're going to clip it and post it on Instagram.
Welcome to the Testpiece podcast. This podcast is about all things high-level climbing. How to go from good to great. I'm your host, Joshua Horsley. I've been climbing for over 30 years. We recently updated our Patreon, and now you get exclusive content from the guests that you love. You get your episodes before everyone else, and they're ad-free. Try it out now at patreon.com/testpiece with a free 7-day trial. Okay, let's start the show.
Benn Wheeler on Board Talk. Good to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me. I can't quite live up to Michael's shoes, but I'll try my best.
I have a hunch your shoes are much larger than Michael's, actually. I think your feet are, in fact, bigger than Michael's.
Maybe, but my facial hair and my charisma are not.
You know what's terrible is Michael's always like joking about how people give him crap about being short, and he's not short, and I never say anything about it. And now that he's gone, the first thing I do is make fun of him.
Yeah. It's because he's always next to he's next to a Greek god. It's not fair.
Did Quinn get voted? I think Quinn got voted the most handsome man in climbing, I want to say.
That sounds right. That sounds like what would happen.
Maybe that was just in your Discord poll. I don't know. Are we just making that up?
It was just me.
Okay.
That sounds good. That's true.
Okay. Well, yeah. Michael Rosato, not here. He's on the road traveling. Couldn't make it. Ben, you just stepped in, and you're a board expert, a board connoisseur, and you took Michael's place. You're actually kind of on the road as well, but I guess you're actually living abroad. Where are you right now, dude?
I'm in Budapest, which is in Hungary, for those who did not know that.
I didn't even know that. I feel like Budapest, it rings a bell more than Hungary. I'm like, yeah, Budapest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a city. Okay.
No, I came here without knowing. I thought that it was like a coastal, kind of like Greece or like something like very beachy and bright. And my God, is it not? Is it not beachy and bright?
So you're having fun, is what you're saying. You're having an absolute blast in Budapest.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing there? What, Budapest is definitely, I'd say 9 out of 10 Americans could not pick that out on a map, but there you are, just not on the beach, but having a blast being young and in Europe.
Yeah. I'm doing a math program. It's called BSM. It's like Hungary actually does have a history of very talented mathematicians. So I'm here to study math. And to me, this is the most American thing anyone's ever going to say. But to me, Europe is all one country. And pretty much I was like, oh, I'll be in Europe. I'll just drive to Switzerland, or don't they, they have public transportation. I'll just, take the bus to London on the weekends, but actually now that I'm here, it took a 20-hour bus to get to Switzerland. And I think that London is across an ocean or something. So Europe is not like that. I can't really climb outside in Budapest, is what I learned.
London is across an ocean. Yes, England is in fact an island. Yeah, Europe, not just one big place. Please, everyone listening, do not at me. Please at Ben when he said that terribly American thing that Europe is just one place. That is not me over this podcast view. But I am glad that you can make it climb. So you thought you were going to be climbing more outdoors, is what you're saying, in Europe?
Yeah, I thought that it would be closer and easier to get places, but it's. I mean, I've been making it work, but it's just not quite so easy. I've been doing everything in my power. I go on these heinous travel adventures over the weekends and skip class and go climb. So yeah, it's been good.
That's the spirit. Go on a special trip to Europe to study, and a special thing to then skip class to go climb. Okay. Yeah. Again, I hope your mom is not listening. Last time we talked, I refused to congratulate Noah for graduating. I just said, of course you can graduate. I'm more impressed with you climbing hard. And now I'm telling you that you are skipping class, and that's great. Okay.
Yeah, you're like, no one cares that you graduated. No.
Except for your mom. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were just in Switzerland for a little bit. I know we're on board talk, but I got to hear a little bit about you were just in Switzerland before starting school, because I know you sent something there. Yeah.
Well, I was in Switzerland before starting school for 4 days, and the weather was very unfortunate. And then I left, and then started school, and then 2 weeks after the first trip, I went back to Switzerland for just 1 day of climbing. It was the worst ratio. It was like I spent a night sleeping on the floor of the Milan airport, 20 hours in a bus, like 6 hours of trains for 1 day of climbing for the second trip.
But did you send? You sent though,
but
right?
I did. I sent. Yeah,
oh,
I sent.
Dude, it's
in
all
the one
worth
session. It was the most magical send of my life. Actually, it felt like so many things had to come together for that.
And what was that climb? Maybe the name is apropos to what you're talking about.
Yeah, the power of now.
Look at that. Look at that. Did you fondle that direct start? Yeah, we were talking about how that was 8C Flash. One of the recent big news was Jules Marchand. He flashed Power of Now direct. Tell me about those holds as someone who recently grabbed those grips. I know you did the non-direct. I don't know what it's called, the normal one, but you must have fondled. You must have checked it out.
I did fondle them. I didn't try it, but okay. It was silly because I told myself that if I did the normal version, I would just try the direct right after. But then I sent, and I was so happy I completely forgot to try it. But I felt the holds a bunch, and they're really good. It's an interesting move. You're in a bit of a dihedral, so your feet are pretty good, and the right hand, the start holds are really good. It's kind of like the angle, I think, that you're jumping at, and like the left hand you're jumping to, which you grab on the normal climb too, is like really oddly angled as well. Like it's a weird wrist angle, and it's also like you kind of have to full crimp it. So I think it'd be hard to latch. And on the normal climb, you get to like really statically like palm press reach into the crimp. So I think that the main difficulty of the move is like latching it in a full crimp. But yeah, I didn't try it. I mean, maybe I'll go back, but it's getting cold. We'll see.
So still impressive. I don't know. I just want to hear the boots on the ground take from someone who's grabbed a lot of V15 grips. Like, was it good? Was it a good flat? I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to get you to tell me.
Yeah, you want me to say it's soft.
No, I do not
ask
want
if it's soft, Josh. Ask if it's soft.
I just want to know
beating
your
around the bush.
honest opinion. I'm just trying to get your honest. I do not want to put out that is not me saying that. Europe is multiple countries, and I don't know if that's soft or not. I've never touched it.
I know what's going to happen. You're going to bait me into saying it's soft, and then you're going to clip it and post it on Instagram, and I'm going to have to defend myself in the comments.
That is correct. That is what we do here. We try to get we get the clicks and the likes. Okay. Don't say it. I don't want to know.
No, I do. I know. No. I'm curious. I think that it's one of those climbs, and this is the same with the normal start Power of Now. Like to me, Power of Now is like not V14. If I found it and F8 it, I would never think to give it V14. But I mean, it was found and F8 at V15 by like Giuliano, who's obviously incredibly experienced. But I just think it's like more than maybe any other climb in the entire world. It's like purely a Kilter board. Like the holds are big. It's pure contact strength, like just jumping as far as you can on like big holds. So I think that the direct is probably a grade harder than the normal version, but I don't know. I mean, it's a controversial area of grading, but like it's going to seem soft to like most people from now on who have climbed a lot on the Kilter board. But in the context of bouldering as a whole, it makes a lot of sense why those climbs were given the grades that they were,
Dude, look at you foreshadowing our Kilter board topic, tying my question back into board climbing. It also ties it into what we talked about last time with just this new era of people coming up on Kilter boards and how that maybe just changes the baseline ability of that sort of style. Cause I gotta say, stuff like that Power of Now, like I was talking to Carlo about it, and he's like, dude, those holds are better than you think. The moves are probably bigger than you think, but those holds are better than you think. And there is this element where you're like, oh, I know these grips. I can grab these things and I can just go between it. And if you're experienced in that, understand that style and everything lines up, like you can just kind of grab and smash. And so, yeah, I don't know what that means for grade. You're the one who said it was soft, not me.
No, but
just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
just kidding.
It's just a different, like, I didn't ever fall on either of the jump moves, which are supposed to be the entire difficulty to climb. I fell on the palm press almost all of my goes because I can't straighten my hands. Like, the palm press for me was so hard, but like that, that just shows like the changing in styles. Like, I'm sure like 50 years ago, they would have been able to do that palm press like easily. I don't know.
Do you know how tall Jules is, and you're tall because you've got reach, which can kind of change those big moves too.
Yeah, definitely. Jules, I want to say he's like 5'9", but he definitely has a huge. I think he's like +4, +5, something like that.
Not short is what you're saying.
No.
Okay. Thanks for making that Instagram clip. Lots of
we're done
likes.
Here. We got what we need.
Okay. Anything else controversial you'd like to say? Okay. Ben, this is Board Talk. And so since Europe evidently is not one big place that just is on the beach with crags all over, I assume you're climbing in the gym. Is there a board scene over there? Like, what's the indoor scene like over in Budapest?
Yeah, it's interesting. I've really enjoyed being in Budapest and getting to know the climbing community here. There's a very serious climbing community, I'd say, but it's obviously different. Like, climbing in Hungary is not as big as it is in the US, or at least there's not as much money in it, like, put into the gyms. There aren't really like movement style gyms where it's like huge, very polished, like set up for commercial success. The gyms are definitely smaller and like dirtier feeling. But I think that the community in Budapest is like probably the most tight-knit climbing community I've ever seen, and extremely accepting. And there are like really, really strong climbers in Budapest. Like, they just train all the time they have like a lot of spray walls and some moon boards. And yeah, there are like underground crushers here. There's a guy named, I think his full name is Zupan, but his nickname here is Zoopy. And he climbed V16. He climbed Brain Rot, Will Bosey's V16 in Magic Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just like and he's insane. He's insanely strong. And he just climbs on the spray walls in Budapest. So
where are the like holds like? Is it just holds you're used to, or are they all like the big European brands, or like are you like, damn, these holds are unique and different?
The gym that I climb in Budapest is definitely more old holds than most gyms in the US. At least the spray wall. Yeah. They're like very very greasy, polished, like pusher style holds kind of. There's a gym in Budapest that is pretty modern style holds. Like, they have the big European flat hold and 360 and stuff like that.
So when you said that they're welcoming but tight knit, like, Ben, are you just like known worldwide when you showed up? Were they like, oh my God, it's Benn Wheeler, please come climb with us? Or did you like call people and get intros? Like, how did you get into this community here?
Yeah, it was like, well, I had a friend who did this program before me, a math major, and he was also a climber. So he knew all these guys, but I texted him and was like, what should I do? Like, who do I climb with? And he told me like some names, like this guy Krzysztof. So I just went to the gym, and obviously I don't know what this guy looks like. And I was just walking around, and he saw me, and I think he recognized me from probably YouTube or Instagram or something. And then that was that. Yeah. But it was immediately like, they were psyched. They're really, really psyched to climb with strong people. Like, they just want to see, like, and they also had so many questions. Like, so many people come up to me in the gym and just ask like how to get better and what to do and how to train. Like, I think that the climbing community here is way more, the people who do climb are way more serious than the average United States climber. They're like really psyched to see strong climbers and yeah.
All right. Well, nice to hear that there's always a welcoming community when you are investing in climbing. Like, it's something that I always think is cool in climbing. It makes me feel like I could move anywhere in the world and have a group of friends probably pretty quickly, because when you walk into a gym, even if you're not unbelievably strong, it's just like, there's this thing that other people see. They're like, oh, you care. Like, you're into this.
Yeah,
you've put
exactly.
Your
time
yeah. Like come join me.
Especially as a college student, like, I think so much about post-college. Like, how am I going to make friends? Like, what even happens to someone's social life when they graduate from college? Because I've just been in school my whole life. So I just meet my friends there. But I'm going to have to like move to a city and like meet people. And I always think it'll be nice. I'll probably go to the climbing gym and just try to walk up to people and talk to them. And it's very relieving. Yeah.
That's what happened to me. I moved to San Francisco and I made a lot of friends through work, but then somehow like work friends aren't the same as climbing friends. I think with climbing, you get to see people at their worst, like, you know, when they're failing, or maybe like you're outside with them and it's cold, or maybe even like travel with them. And you know, it's hard, or they get scared, and you get to see people at their worst and how they handle it, and at their best where they send or are supportive of you. I feel like you get this view into what they're really like. Are they actually supportive, or do they secretly like want you to fall so they can send it first or something? You develop these relationships that are tighter than you might get in like, I don't know, like we both, you know, drive a desk next to each other. And so we have lunch at the same time. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go climbing.
No, I agree. Yeah. And a lot of climbing, you got to drive hella far. The car rides for me, I think that's where most of my best friends in my life have come from, are climbing car rides. That's like the best way to make friends.
Dude, so I did this podcast with my buddy Mark Heel, and that
I listened
is
to that.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I love Mark. I've known him forever. And the weirdest part about it is that we were facing each other while talking about climbing, and we were like, dude, we've talked about climbing a lot, but usually we're next to each other, like driving, maybe sitting in front of a boulder, but just the idea that we were like looking at each other and talking about climbing was somehow new for us. I mean, now I'm used to it. This is what I do. But for me and him, it was like, oh, this is a new thing.
Yeah,
so yeah, car rides.
I didn't even know what you looked like. Yeah.
All I see is like
hell?
the road in front of me, and then sometimes I see your ass that I'm spotting when we're climbing, and that's about it. That's all I got. Well, I am just at home. I am not traveling. Temps are good here. I'm still on the board, and I'm in my garage on the 2024 set, the moon board. Still good. Something that my buddy Moses Potter said to me that I can't get out of my head and I want to talk to you about is I had talked about how the 2024 is really fun. Like, it's a fun set. It's a little slopier. It's a little more comfy. It's maybe a little more Kilter board like of all the moon boards. Again, foreshadowing our later topic on the Kilter board. And me and Michael had kind of compared it to the 2016 set. And my buddy Moses, who is OG climber, climbs on the boards a lot, sets, experienced climber. He was like, oh, dude, you got it wrong. The reason why the 2016 is so popular and so great is because the holds are more in-cut and you have less of an issue of dealing with conditions while training, where some other boards and maybe the 2024 set in comparison is more conditions dependent. And that can be frustrating when you're just kind of like want to go in and train and pull. And so it's now cold. And so I'm sending harder in my garage on the 2024 set. But I was like, what do you think about that idea about conditions affecting boards? And does that mean that like, if it's a more conditions dependent board, is that good or bad? Or like, I don't know, I just can't get out of my head now. Like now every time I pull on, I'm like,
yeah, no, your sends don't even count. You're not stronger. You're just colder.
Seriously though, it's true. Like,
yeah.
What do you think about that?
That's really interesting. I've definitely felt like some boards are more condition dependent, but I never considered that specifically the 2016 moon board it is not as condition dependent for sure. It's very in-cut. To be honest, it's true, but at the same time, you can't separate climbing from conditions, literally. And like we like to talk about conditions like for outdoors, but especially now, I think it's becoming way more prevalent. Like it is becoming very clear that conditions inside in comps and in the gym and on the boards, they're extremely important. And if you want to climb the hardest that you can climb, then you have to control for conditions. Like, I mean, people use those little mini fans that like
I got one.
A straight beam. Yeah, exactly. Like everybody in the gym now has that too, Yeah, I think that you can't separate conditions from climbing. So it's a part of climbing, We don't necessarily need to like try and minimalize how much conditions should matter, because, we're training for climbing when we're board climbing, and we're climbing. So, it's important to still regulate conditions and do all that. But
yeah, I would just say, turn on the AC. I think Moses is in Sender 1 or in those facilities, I think he's part of that group, and just like turn on the air conditioner, dude, it won't matter. But yeah, my pushback, and I'm going to even push back what you just said, where if we're climbing on boards, it's training for climbing. And I just think that, like, so I'm bad at training, man. Like, I don't think of board climbing as being training. Like, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Like I just do it because it's fun. And I'm not saying that I don't think about, oh, like this is getting me stronger for X, Y, and Z. But I just think of it as being like the end unto itself. Like, I guess just my style. I don't go into my 2024 set and be like, okay, today I am training. Like, I'm just like, I'm going to go try to smash. Like, I'm going to do his best. I'm going to climb the hardest I can climb today, whatever the hell that means. And so my thing is like, I don't care if a problem is conditions dependent, because like, I'm not trying to just get volume in. I just want to have like good experiences on the board. And so to me, this is one of the whole things behind what I want to do here with this podcast series in general, is like, it's okay for boards to be an end unto themselves. It doesn't mean they're not good training. It doesn't mean you can't use them in training, but I just show up and I climb as hard as I can. And so if a climb is more conditions dependent, well, there's a lot of climbs outside that are conditions dependent. And it's just like you were saying, you can't separate the two. So I don't know if I want to like say this board sucks because you have to have good conditions to send the hardest thing. It's just part of it. You know, it just is. Yeah.
It depends on where what I'm doing with my climbing, but 100% I feel the same way about board climbing a lot as you do. It's fine if conditions play a big part in board climbing, because they play a big part in every part of climbing, and board climbing is just as valid a form of climbing. Or if you're using it to train, then it's also important to train conditions. So yeah, either way, I think that it's fine. But that doesn't mean it's not annoying. Like I definitely have fallen off a board climb and been like, fuck, like that's just because it's hot. Like, God damn it. Like, you know, it's still upsetting.
I'd still rather fall off because of that reason than because of a shallow pour. Like, some dude joined my Discord, and the first thing he did was he went in and like sent a picture of his holds, and he was like, man, like, I know that moonboard grades are stiff, but like these like V4s or V5s are feeling really hard. He's like, is something wrong with my hold? He sends me a picture of this like hold that's just such a shallow pour. I was like, yeah, dude, that's not how the hold is supposed to be. Like, and I don't know if you know, but they have like little circles that show where you're supposed to sand it down. And his was just like totally gone. I was just like, I'm sorry, bud. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
This. Yeah.
Someone chipped your holds, or it's not conditions that is your issue or your strength. It's just someone took your holds and screwed you. And I'm sorry.
I mean, have you seen there's an Instagram account called GoonBoard Police. Have you seen that?
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I think it's hilarious.
It is. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's a real thing now too that people talk about. And it's it's like, I can just know, the moment I get to a gym, I walk up to whatever board they have and I feel the holds, and immediately I just know if it's going to be a good board or a bad board, because there's so many like.
Yeah. It's such a shame, because it's okay that not all boards are the same, in the sense that like you might be in a place where it's really hot, right? So like then you got conditions. You might be in a high traffic place where they're going to be really slippery. All those things will make each board unique. What you don't want them is to be unique because like it's just straight up different. Like, you know, I always use this baseball analogy where, okay, I'm going to speak carefully here because I just got made fun of for having a terrible basketball analogy on the Good Temps pod. But here's my baseball analogy: is hitting a home run is different in different parks. Like, so there's one park, I think it's called like Fenway or something. I'm going to get ripped on again. Anyway, there's a park and they have a really high wall, right? So like if you hit a home run, maybe you got that appropriate distance, but you didn't have the right height, you know, because it had to go over. So that's like this fun thing to talk about where it's like, oh, you sent Black Beauty on that board? Like that board is like known to be like slippery or it's hot in there, versus just like, oh, like, you know, that hold was just the wrong hold, or that, you know, like the baseball you used was, you know, completely
twice
different.
The size.
Like that shit would be whack. Like we want a little variation to make things fun. But yeah, so GoonBoard Police doing God's work out there, trying to.
I hate that we're saying GoonBoard on an act. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, don't Google that. From what I've heard, not that I would know. Okay.
Wait, specific. I want to give a specific shout out to Austin Hoyt. I would
know that
say
guy.
here. I'll continue your baseball analogy. Sending Black Beauty on the board that Austin Hoyt sent it on is like hitting a home run, but the baseball is 4 times the size and your bat is 6 times as powerful. Because that board, this shit is huge. And you can tell him I said that. I stand by that.
Oh, well, so maybe because I'm not a math major, I didn't understand what you were doing with those numbers at first, but now what you're doing is you're making fun of Austin. Okay, I just want to be clear. Let's be very clear. You're saying Austin is weak, and his Black Beauty send doesn't count. Okay, Austin, please
Respond, Austin,
Ben, in the comments. That is not my opinion. I've seen you climb. I'm very impressed. I believe in your Black Beauty ability, but yeah, maybe Goonboard Police also should come in and chime in and let us know.
He did do Lucid, to be fair, which is a sim of Lucid. So
did he? Now I don't know.
He double clutched it. Does that even count?
Does that even count? On this line of boards that maybe aren't quite correct, I want to revive something that happened in our very, very first pod we did together. And that was a little beef between you and Hosik. I think that he called out your board.
He called me a gooner. He called me. He did. He said, "Oh my god, I remember that."
Wow. Yeah. So we were talking about his latest send of like a V12 project. Oh man, I'm getting you into so much trouble.
I see where
here.
this is going.
You've been climbing a little bit on the 2024 moon board, and you've been trying to do all the double digits. And did you do that latest V12 project that he said took him more tries than any other one before?
Yeah, Hosek, that's a little odd. You think this one's a GoonBoard too, huh? You gonna call every moonboard I climb on a GoonBoard, Hosek? That shit was easy. Sacrifices, easy. That was easy.
Did you in fact flash sacrifices? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or maybe 2 goes or something. Super, yeah, light work, Hosek.
Go. Okay.
Yeah, do something harder maybe. No, I'm just
wow.
Kidding. It's all love. It's all love.
We gotta get him on board talk. We should go to Korea, or we should get him on a Board Lords. Well, I can't volunteer that because I have nothing to do with Board Lords. But we should, I feel like, fly him out here, or we fly out there and we settle this on a standard board that we all know is legit and has been
board.
measured.
Yeah.
And then we'll just see what happens, and it'll make the best media the best.
Finally squash the beef.
Didn't you say you were trying to set a V13 benchmark? Is there any V13s on the 2024 moonboard set?
None. There's a moonboard video of Sam Pryor and Matthew Mendez and Ben Moon climbing on the hardest, like the double digit classics on the 2024 moonboard. And they're like, Sam's talking about it. Like they try to put out like V12 benchmarks, and every single one has been downgraded by the people who climb on it other than one. So there's one V12 and no V13s. It's a shame.
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
I think that the moonboard people... Okay, actually, no. I know why it is. It's because the 2016 set, like, it was the first one with the app, right? Like the at least the current app. But so that's when consensus started to form. And the V12s on the 2016 moonboard are like Project 2 is V12 on the 2016 moonboard, and it's like V14, you know? So everything since then is held to this standard of that, you know? And I think that with the 2024 moonboard, in a lot of ways, there's a lot of complaints about the moonboards, and they've tried to like listen to that and like take it into account, like the insane sandbaggery and all that. And the people said, no, we will not let you. They said, we will complain, and then we will not let you. We'll complain both ways. It's too soft. It's too, they can't win. So I think that they just hold V12 on the moonboard to like an insane standard, and V13 really doesn't exist.
When I was climbing on the 2019 set, there was 2 V13s, and I did not do them. I did literally every other climb but those, and I was like, these are fucking hard. And then I think they got downgraded. It was the Aiden Roberts,
AR Masters. Yeah.
And then one by Flo.
Art of Nothing.
Art of the Moment or something like
Art
that.
Art of the Moment. Yeah. I think they were both downgraded. Yeah.
Dude, those are definitely V13 climbs. I'm just going to put that out there. In any world, whether it's the board, outdoors, other boards, those climbs are very, very hard. They were such a notch above everything else. It was just clear. I don't know. That's just my humble opinion. As someone who did literally every other double digit on that set, but those ones, I was like, wow, these are really hard. Impressive.
Yeah, that seems to be happening on all the moon boards. But there is, like, Black Beauty seems like the only V13 that's stuck, I think. So that's cool.
Do you think it is the hardest climb on the moon boards?
Not on Austin Hoyt's moonboard.
Ooh, shots fired.
No, I'm just kidding. I think it is. I don't know. It's hard to say. I feel like Art of the Moment seems like it could be harder, but I haven't tried it. I recently rewatched the 2019 Moonboard Masters with like Aiden and Vadim, and it was like, I think maybe only Vadim did it. It looked impossible. Yeah.
By the way, just a reminder that Black Beauty is in fact a simulator for lucid dreaming. So yeah, I'm sure you remembered, but just want to remind everyone that is kind of like what it was a simulator for. So yeah, whatever it did for Austin, it still worked out. It seemed to work for him. Okay. On the subject of grading on boards, the biggest news of the month, but when I say the biggest news of the month, I mean, what I determined was the biggest news of the month in boards was Noah Wheeler. You might know him because he's your brother. He FA'd the second 8C, that's V15, on a board ever. This was on the TB2. And it was a big deal, man. It's a big deal because we talked about this. We like foreshadowed this maybe like a year ago. We were like, I think I asked you, I was like, where are the V15s? Where are the V16s? And you were like, they're coming. And now they're here. And
they're coming. Yeah.
One of your own. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like a prophet. It's it's exciting. I'm very excited. I think it was like so cool to see that Hamish and the Tension guys gave the one in the video V15. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was bold. I thought they would have given it V14, but I'm happy they gave it V15. It was really exciting. And then, you can give one thing V15, but that's just like, it's like the first of a grade. But the fact that now, if Noah did this climb like 7 months ago or before that last Board Lords, he would not have thought for a second to give it V15. He would probably give it V11, V12, like he does to every fucking climb. But the fact that Hamish did that and now it's like a thing you can do, and like Sean, HRM, like giving things V14, yeah, it's really happy what we talked about. Like one person starts to push it and then people are like, okay, you can actually, it's okay. It's safe to do that, And yeah, and neither have been downgraded thus far. I mean, knock on wood, but yeah, it seems like it's happening.
Has Noah tried to repeat that one? So that was Board Lords number 7 was where Hamish did that problem on the spray, did it screaming. We were both there. It was there. One of the best sporting moments in history.
It was. I started crying. I ran to Josh and I hugged him and I kissed him, and then Hamish ran out of the room.
And I started crying because of that.
We both started crying in each other's arms. Oh my gosh!
And then Hamish ran out of a door.
The emergency exit.
The reason why this is so crazy is like it almost looked scripted where Hamish like ran out, but you have to understand, I don't think Hamish had ever even been there before. Maybe it had been there once, and this is just like a door. Like how would he just
in
run
like
out a door? Yeah, like who knows what could be on the other side.
He didn't like fall off and then like look around, like where do I run out? He like jumped off and without us missing a beat, sprinted straight through this door. It's a warehouse. He could ran into a fucking machine and gotten turned into a.
There are machines there. There's dangerous stuff there. Yeah. He should have been wearing a hard hat probably when he went through that door.
Yeah. The workers in there were probably like, what? There's this fucking British kid just ran into this room. What is he doing?
Sir, you're not allowed here. So did Noah ever try to go back and do it? I mean, he was close in the, in Board Lords episode on his first session, but did he ever go back to it? Do you know?
I don't think he has. I asked him. He's either tried it like once or not at all. I don't think he's tried it, which I don't really know why. If I were him, I would totally want to do that. But that's what I am the thing that I miss most about America. Well, that's not true. The thing I miss like 5th or 6th most about America is the TB2. And I really want, like specifically because I want to try that climb. It's like shoulder flexibility and drop knee. Like that's my thing. I want to try that so bad. And I would love if my first V15 were actually a board climb and not even outdoors.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Quick break while I tell you about today's sponsor. You. That's right, you. Thank you to all the patrons who help make this show possible. Join them so you can get episodes early before anyone else, and those episodes are ad-free. As a patron, you also get to submit questions for upcoming guests. The answers to those questions are only available to patrons. Follow the link in the show notes to join now. You also get access to a private Discord where you'll find me and other people who want to go from good to great. Okay, back to the pod.
So tell me more about this V15 that Noah did recently in FA. You made some comment and you're like, if he did it 7 months ago, he would have slapped V11 or 12 on it. Like, why the change of heart? I guess because Hamish broke down that barrier, but isn't Noah kind of on one right now?
Yeah, no, I think it's probably the hardest board climb maybe ever, if I had to guess. I mean, the way that, like, I think part of the reason he felt good giving V15 is it's a low start to an already established V13, which is like, there's a very clear big move in that climb, which is where the 13 starts, and it's a Luca Martin's boulder, who's a fucking legend, insanely good.
Monster. Yeah,
insane. And I think that the 13 has only been done by Noah and Luca Martins, so it's obviously really hard. And then I think he said it adds like 11 or 12 into that move. So yeah, I think it helped for him to give V15 that he could like break it down, and he probably threw it in Darth Grader, and it was like Darth Grader probably told him it was like V17. It always
no, dude. Everything. Hold on. I don't know Darth Grader. I don't use Darth Grader that much, but I do have this basic math that I do in climbing, and it's 2 of the same grade leads to 2 higher of the grade. So like a V13 into a V13 is supposed to make a V15. I don't know if a V12 into a V13 makes V15.
Let the record show Josh is calling it soft. Officially, Josh is calling it soft.
I'm just doing. You're the math major, but I'm math and climbing pretty good. I'm just saying, when I used to set, and when I look at things, if I break it down, like 2 V6s equals a V8. So I don't know if a V12 into a V13, unless it's a 1 move V13, I don't know how that all works. I don't know.
I think that's
soft.
No,
yeah.
that's a good point. I think it might be a 1 move, or like it's like a 2 move V13, and it's a jump.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just kidding. I would argue that there's literally no one more capable of deciding what should be V15 on a board than Noah Wheeler. So, I'm psyched. I'm happy to see it. Also, I kind of feel like I either owe Hamish or Noah $100. I feel like I put it out there in the world that like the world's first V15 on a board gets $100. I feel like I did it. If anyone remembers, in past episodes with Tim, I feel like I said that out there.
I kind of feel it now that you say that. I have like a vivid memory.
Yeah, I think I might owe one of them $100.
I think you did. You do. Wow. Yeah, okay. Give it to Noah.
What about Hamish, dude? Well, how about this? Okay. All right, now this is me just trying to.
Are you about to offer more money?
No, I'm trying to take my money off the table. I feel like someone needs to repeat one of those and confirm whether or not it's V15. Just saying.
And the person who repeats it gets the money.
No, they don't get the money.
Oh, okay.
But they're the controlling factor as to whether or not it actually is V15. But I mean, I feel like it's here. It's been done. Actually one of our kind of like Patreon questions, that I guess I'm not saving for later was like, has the 8C barrier in board climbing been broken? And I just think it has. And I think that we'll probably see more and more of them now, because when you see those posts of guys like Adam Shahar, Noah, I'm pick your name, flashing V13s on the reg, if they're going to put in the time and try hard on something, it's not surprising that those climbs end up being V15.
Yeah. I mean, we all knew it was, I'm sure there's more V15s that were not given V15, but yeah, it's nice to see it finally happening. And shout out Sean. He didn't give it V15, but 10,000 days at 55. I think he said 14 slash. Wow. Or he might have said 15 minus. I don't know. Something like that.
Is that kicked back further? I don't remember what was that for the video.
For the video, it was 50.
Okay. Yeah. Good shout for Sean. RHM definitely has climbed quite a few 14s. If he hasn't climbed a 15 or given one of his amazing FAs a 15, I'll bet you by the time the next board talk, well, Sean, I know you're listening. You go do a 15. We'll talk about the next one. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was going to say we should save this one for later because it's more Noah, but it was one of the biggest medias of the month was a wheel rock vid with Colin Duffy. I like your clickbait title, Olympian versus V17 climber. So you guys, well, not you. There was some guy who did not look like you, despite them calling Ben.
They didn't trick you, Josh? They didn't get you?
Not really sure what they were going for there. I was like, I don't know. If they had taken it one step further, maybe like had him act like up. You. You know what gave it away is his eyebrows were just extremely thick. I was just like, that guy's eyebrows.
Dude, you are throwing insane shade on this.
That mean?
Wow.
Dude,
no, maybe that's a good thing. I think that's
thick eyebrows. Yeah, it could be cool.
Wait, but then it's mean to me. You're saying my eyebrows are thin now. Wait, that's racist. Oh my God.
Is that racist? Oh gosh. Oh man, I'm going to get canceled.
Yeah, you're done, Josh.
Yeah.
It's my podcast now.
Didn't see it coming. That eyebrow content just sends the cancellation bin.
No, but yeah. I did watch that video.
You did, in fact, watch that video on Wheel Rock? Yeah, I thought maybe you had some part in editing it, or did you just review it? Was this all Noah?
What I would describe Wheel Rock as is, oh man, I really don't know the political system of America very well. But just like you, I'm going to give my shot at a metaphor of something I know nothing about. Noah is like the Congress. Is this right? Noah's like the Congress, and I'm like the president. Not the current president. A hypothetical American president.
Oh, God.
In that he creates all of it. He makes the video. He edits the video. He mostly films the videos. And then he brings it to me. And he says, Ben, is this good? Should I do this? And I have the ultimate authority, the veto power. And I usually say, mostly it's like I said something that I shouldn't have said on video. And I say, no, you need to take that out of this video. Or also, if I think that there's a part that's really boring, I'm like, you should cut that out. Or if I think his title is too clickbaity, which happens actually a lot, I say like, we don't need that to be so clickbaity. Or sometimes he'll make me too short in the videos. So I say I'm too short. I basically do things like that.
Okay. You did not veto it though. This one went out, just thumbs up.
This one went out, but it didn't. I watched it while I was on a scooter. So it didn't quite have my full attention, but yeah.
Okay, well, it had my full attention. I click on all the wheel rocks, clickbait title or not. That was a hell of a clickbait title. I know when you put V17 in the title, you get clicks. Olympian,
oh my God,
seems to be less clicks with Olympian, but V17, Jesus. And if you type V18 in there, like the internet just breaks.
just type like V30 and just see what happens. Just millions of views. It doesn't even mean anything.
But the best thing is that you guys are able often to deliver on these clickbait titles. It actually was an Olympian and a V17 climber. That was Mr. Colin Duffy and Noah Wheeler, of course.
Yeah, I think he also put this was good clickbait. I respect this. It wasn't just like V17er climbs with Olympian. It was like Olympian versus V17 climber on the spray board. And before, one of his drafts, I think, was Olympian embarrasses V17 climber on the board. That is top. People want to see that. People want to see
embarrassed. And is it like his mind's getting blown, like some mouth hanging open, like, oh, what?
Yeah. Sexy, strong Olympian humiliates weak little Asian V17 climber. That would do really well.
I will say Colin did look really good on that campus spray wall.
I was most impressed by the fucking, I know those holds. Did you see the big black pinch jump?
My favorite.
That was insane. Yeah. Just watching everybody else hit the left hand and just immediately pop off. And Colin's just just stick, it's insane.
Do you guys climb with Colin a lot?
Not a lot, but a decent amount. I've climbed with him a decent amount, I think. We've climbed, I watched him do Defying Gravity. I compete against him in all of the Colorado local comps. Compete against is a strong word. I lose to Colin in all of the.
You signed his scorecard. You're like, yes, yeah. Colin did in fact do that.
Yeah, okay. I cheer for him in the finals.
That's what's brutal about competing in Colorado is that you get people, well, like you, dude, and Colin. So can be tough out there. But I was kind of bummed to not see him climb on any of the boards other than the spray wall. Like, I've heard this. So
I know, me too.
I don't know Colin. I've never met him. I just admire him from afar on Instagram. And a lot of his Instagrams are like these, I don't know, like, swinging around, like a lot of like momentum campusing. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who was saying that he often will see Colin come in. And this was maybe at like the training center or something. He's like, dude, Colin just comes in and he like does that kind of stuff. Like he campuses or he does, momentum stuff. And then he doesn't see him like do like normal climbing. And yet he still just smashes everything. Like he went outside and he was, doing all those V15's and stuff. It's not like he can't climb well, but I'm just wondering, like, does Colin ever just grab crimps and lock them off?
That's a good question. I know he does climb. The TB2, he's climbed on the TB2 a decent amount, but I think he definitely prefers that style of jumping around. I mean, not to speak for him, but I also think like he definitely has expressed like, I think also during his outdoor arc, like part of that was like he felt like his fingers and normal, like pure, like traditional, straightforward climbing strength could get better. And also like he's really a 3-finger dragger. So he's been like, there was this climb in Eldo that was called the Grinch. That's like really full crimpy. And he did that. It's like just like a flat crimp face. So, and that's really like straightforward crimpy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like he's getting more into that kind of stuff. But you're right. It's insane. I mean, also he's like an incredible lead climber in comps, which is all like so many crimps, so many static moves. Yeah, I don't know. He's just good. People should not be going around thinking that Colin Duffy is weak on normal types of climbing. He's insane.
Yeah. That is not what I want to put out there. The craziest thing is that's actually the thing that blows my mind is like, he's not weak at it, but it seems like he doesn't do it. And then he just goes and does it whenever he wants and just crushes crimps or outdoors, whatever the case may be. But then when I see him, it's like, oh, he's kind of like, he looks like he's like just kind of playing in quote unquote training. Like he's just kind of like playing on these moves. And so it's fascinating to me that, he's not in there on the hangboard or crushing like crimps all the time. And like, just that he just has that like deep, and I'm sure he did a decade of that when he was young too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, yeah. With people like that, it's like, I remember very vividly, I sat next to Colin Duffy in Youth D, or it's not even called that. I don't even know if it exists anymore. I don't know. I was like 9 years old and Colin was like, I don't know, he's probably like 3 years older than me, 2 years older than me. And I sat next to him and yeah, it was like, he's been winning nationals since he was fucking 7 years old, So like that level of climbing experience and like deep rooted tendon strength, like, I don't know. He's good at everything. It's insane.
All right. Well, other than just Colin being incredible, I mean, Noah did some cool stuff on the TB2.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, that guy. I mean, I just remember this like crazy
lame V17 climber.
Yeah. Versus embarrassed V17 climber.
Humiliated V17 climber.
I mean, it is wild just like watching just kind of a normal session and seeing, I mean, this is why your guys' videos are so popular, is it was clearly like a normal session. I don't know, just you guys climbing, and your buddies or the people that were there were not weak. They climbed well. I've watched them on some of those like 11s. I'm like, I know that climb. That shit's hard. And then just the way Noah, like this, he did this like one arm swing. I think it was called like Swarmed or something that just,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Blew my mind. Any comment from you, like watching it from afar, and, is it just like a normal session? Like, just give me a little behind the scenes on why you guys decide to pick up a camera and film something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way Noah has been climbing, like, I mean, I follow him on the tension board app and the Kilter board app. Like, the way he's been climbing the last few months, that is a normal session. Like, I mean, he'll do like I look at the app and he just flashes like 3 V13s a day on any board he's on. So like, I don't know, he's just been climbing like that. I don't know what he's been on. There's a specific climb he did in the video, the V14, the world's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that he has struggled on in the past. We've actually tried it together in a lot of our past videos, and neither of us could do the first move. So it's good to see he crushed it that time. And yeah, about those other climbers, those guys are like, yeah, I don't know. It is like all respect to them, and they're my very good friends, but it's hard to tell how good they really are because Colin and Noah are obviously, two of the best climbers in the world, but those guys are like easily V14 climbers. Like Casper has climbed a dozen V14s or something like that. Like those guys are legit. And yeah, it just goes to show what kind of shape Noah's in for what he may be trying right now. I don't know.
We have to bleep that out. Don't stop the spoilers. Yeah, excited to see Noah. I was gonna
on whatever.
No, I was gonna say I'm congratulating him for getting out of college or graduating from college and now being able to devote himself full time to the craft of climbing hard.
Except you shouldn't be. Yeah, don't congratulate him on graduating. That's nobody cares.
I'm congratulating him on all the training he's been putting in now that he's not distracted by
silly
stay in school, kids.
School.
Stay in school, please, God, stay in school. Okay, well, I'm just gonna close out that little video that I really had fun watching with. I thought that the best name ever for a climb that was put out on that video was "The lion does not concern himself with foot tension." That was really good.
It
really
That's
got
hilarious.
me. I got to hand it to him. And very self-congratulatory too. Like, the lion.
The lion. He definitely does not concern himself with foot tension.
Well, he's going to have to if he's going to send some of the hardest outdoor climbs. Just putting it out there.
It's true. It's true. I will say about that video, I'm very sad I wasn't there. That seemed like a fun session. I got a lot of FOMO.
Well, maybe you should make one of your own in Budapest with Zupi.
Zupi, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That'd be funny.
Okay, this next video that I watched, I don't know if it was quite as popular as Wheel Rock, because what videos about spray walls are as popular as Wheel Rock, but it was a Wedge video called "This Training Board is Legendary. Here's Why." I gotta tell you guys, Wedge, that's not a very clickbait title. You gotta get better at that. Look at Wheel Rock.
Wedge. Look at us. You want to be like us, don't you, Wedge?
The views didn't quite live up to it, but I will tell you, the quality of the filming and editing was a step up.
Hey, watch it, Josh.
Hey, I'm a patron, yeah, so I can say these things.
The struggle climbing podcast has such better quality in filming, Josh.
Ouch! All right,
no.
But the guest quality very high. Yeah,
Wedge it's like a fucking movie. I don't know how they even. Yeah. They must use something other than an iPhone. I bet.
What? There's phone or
I didn't know that
video
was
cameras other than
what?
an iPhone. Maybe it's just the newest iPhone. Yeah, I like this one. I mean, honestly, dude, I just like Wedge videos. I just really do. I think that they put out really high quality content, and I gotta say, I feel like they're kind of doing more board content. I feel like I just see more and more home walls. There was some other stuff that came out, like I think it was maybe Jim Pope's home wall. I didn't get to watch that one yet, but the one I watched was "This Training Board is Legendary. Here's Why." And it was the Wave, and which is just some random wall and I don't know, some random gym. This is what's funny about famous spray walls is that they're not necessarily like, in a big giant facility like you're talking about, like some polished place. It's often a dungeon that tons of people cut their teeth on. And this one was a bit unique because it was curved. Like, I don't know how it's called the Wave, but when I say it's curved, it wasn't like what's the math term? It wasn't like consistently
continuous.
Curved. It wasn't a continuous concentric shape. I'm just throwing out words I understand. It was a little like up and down, but one of the parts was freaking 63 degrees. That is steep, dude.
Yeah.
Is that too steep? Yeah. What do you think?
I don't think that's too steep. I think 70 is too steep. 63 seems like, that's a nice number. Maybe it'd be too steep if it was like a one angle, but the way that it's set up, it seems really nice for like, you do like a move in the 63 and then you have like, it's, I don't know what it is after that, 45, something like, I don't know.
Ben, that was a trick question. There is no such thing as too steep.
Oh, I failed.
Yeah.
I
Just
no such thing.
I like how the whole idea you're like so a wave, it is cool when it is steep and it kind of like eases off the angle, but I like how it just doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, it's a little less steep, where it probably just goes to like 40 still, which is really steep. And I just it just kind of eases off. But 60 is a lot steeper than 63 is a lot steeper than people realize. And when you get on boards now that are adjustable and you start kicking it back into that like 60, 65, it is such a different climbing experience that really makes you want to put your feet over your head. I feel like that's the definition of something being steep, is all of a sudden feet that are above your hands become a very reasonable option.
Steep climbing is interesting for me because in a lot of ways it preys on my weaknesses of like kind of arm strength and like chest muscles and shit. But I do like, if anything, I love feet, and you can really use your feet very well in the steep. So yeah, I really like climbing. I think there's more, you like get to spin around more, and I think there's more heel hooks, more toe hooks, more drop knees kind of. I think it's nice.
I like it. What
do you think of the video?
I just had a blast seeing all the history. I liked, I just like seeing those holds that were unique and different. And look, the truth is what really jumps out in the video is Max, the future, just Max fucking campusing. Like I don't know. Yeah. Dude, I don't know a ton about that guy other than he is strong as shit. And he just campused the Ace, which is that famous V13 in the Peak District. Do you know much about him other than I heard of him because Max the Future is a cool Instagram handle. And so I recognized it.
Dude, that shit inspired. I really like that. Max, dude, you could be Josh the Past.
That's basically
no disrespect.
That's terrible because that's what people do. They're like, man, I used to be strong, so now I'll just have a podcast. And it's like people who are really good, they're looking forward to their future. Me, I'm just reliving this is just getting sad. This is making me sad. Yeah. I want to move on.
Cut.
Yeah. Next. Yeah.
No, I don't know a lot about him. I know, obviously he's been on the World Cup scene a while. I think that he's one of those guys who really seems like, I guess I do. Okay. There's a whole, I don't know if you watch these videos, but there's the part of climbing YouTube that's like the World Cup climber channels. And they kind of all train together sometimes. There's like training camps a lot in times in like Paris and Japan and the UK. And anytime Max is in those videos, whether it's like his video or Mejdi's video or Toby's video, he is the best climber there. Like he destroys these people in these training camps, like in every style. Like there was a Toby video that was like all the best World Cup climbers, Rosato, Tomoa, Toby, all these guys. And they're doing like a knockout format where if you send the boulder in 2 attempts, you get to move on to a harder version in that style. So they had like slab, coordination, power styles. And then it's like 5 boulders and you're knocked out if you fall more than twice. And Max won the slab category against, which is it's not even like what you think he's good at, but he beat like Rosato and he beat all the best climbers in the world. And then, I think he's one of those guys who he does really well in World Cups, but like he's at that level of climber where like he could be one of the best or the
future.
Best. Yeah, he is. He actually is the future though. That's the thing. He has an Instagram handle and you're like, this guy, like he's the future. And then you watch him climb and you're like, yeah, he's the future.
Well, he's definitely the future of campusing because he like broke his foot. I don't know. They kind of say a little something about it, but hopefully he gets better soon. But I think one of the reasons I don't know as much about him is because I just can't keep up with all of the strong guys coming out of the UK scene. It's just like, I don't know, man. There's too many. Like, I don't know what they're eating over there. I don't know what their spray walls are like over there, but it's like they just create these monsters. And Jim Pope, incredibly strong climber. And then they talk about Max on these boards and how he's just campus flashing all of the hardest climbs on this established spray wall.
It goes to show, even the pros get their projects campus flashed. That is insane. It doesn't matter. Like it happens to everybody. It's tough.
But what's interesting is that you're right. And there's probably always someone stronger than you on some style. Like no matter who you are, whether you're Toby or Rosato, there's something that someone is way better than you at. And just to take Max down a peg to the present, he is still getting beat by Rosato and I know he's hurt. He didn't get to show up this year in the circuit. But it's still anyone's game at any moment on any boulder. And I say this all the time. I'll say it again. It's just like, treat each boulder with respect. Like you never know, might have your number. And so, he's incredibly talented. I am now just going to be watching him closely. And I hope he heals up. I also kind of want to see how far he can push campusing. But yeah, it's like, you never know. There is someone who can probably campus your project, but then you might be able to crush them at some other discipline, which is fascinating. I love climbing. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the only other thing that stood out to me in that video that I thought was hilarious was at the very end where they talk about how like Wedge and some other people are coming over from France to climb on the boards. So they would visit just to climb on the boards there, which I thought was hilarious because when I have climbed at gyms in France, they're like this amazing comp style setting. And you're like, these are intricate and interesting and slabby, but I guess they don't have as many of that pure board focus. And I don't know, like maybe that is what's generating this incredible crop of just beastly strong UK climbers, but it's not like the French aren't incredibly strong and doing very well at all the outdoor World Cup, wherever, pick your thing. So it's kind of interesting that you could have the climbing training come from these two different areas and create amazing climbers, but maybe that crossover, like leads to the best of the best where it's like, come here and train on this stuff too.
Yeah, it is. I think it's really interesting how, to me, it seems like the French climbing has even like really leveled up a lot in the last like year or two. Like looking at their outdoor climbers, it's like Jules is French, and he's the first V15 Flash, and Seb Blanc is French, and he's the strongest sport climber in the world, arguably. Wedge won a few World Cups, was second at the World Champs.
Oh yeah, those guys.
And they're killing it. Yeah. And also they're so good. Like you think about French gyms and I just think of like just straight, like I watched French nationals like 2 years ago and like 3 of their boulders, you just sprinted 30 feet across a slab, just running. And I was like, this is dumb as hell. But they're all like, clearly they're all so strong physically as well, like outside and in every way. And the British people seem like they only train on boards, but then, Toby won the Olympics. Like, it's interesting how they can train in what seems like it wouldn't help, like the style of climbing that they're doing, but it just does. Like Toby's training videos doesn't seem specifically World Cup-y, but it is. Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways to train for World Cups and outdoors. They're all equally effective. And like, there's just a lot of nuance in that. It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I think it's rather than training, quote unquote, where it's like do a lot of hangboarding or finding something that you're weak at or whatever the case may be. I'm always a big proponent of falling in love with something and just taking it to a high level. And so this goes back to what I was saying about boards and, them being like an end unto itself is like, I don't climb boards because they're like good for training. I climb boards because I love it. And so I show up and try hard. And that is what good training is, whether it's,
exactly.
I don't know.
Like we were talking about with Colin too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good point.
It's like, it works. It's the same thing, there's a lot of ways to climb.
Okay. The other thing that dropped this month, but I don't want to go into because I already did an emergency pod on it with Michael, is Board Lords number 8. It's out there for patrons. But I mean, I just feel like you probably watched it. If you have any comments from it, I just wanted to give you a chance to air your praise or grievances with it.
I mean, my number one comment is just my God, look at those men's bodies. I mean, let's take I'm not objectifying anybody. Okay. I want to put that out there on the record. I'm not objectifying anybody, but I mean, I couldn't even focus on the climbing, I don't blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're even saying. I'm just like, when Zach is doing his shoulder moves, just pure static, I'm seeing things I didn't know the body had,
new muscles.
like,
yeah.
literally new muscles. It's insane. Those physiques are just crazy. I don't even know what you do to get that. But climbing wise, the other thing that I was really impressed by is Sung Soo clearly doesn't have as much. There's no tension board 2 in Korea, he said. And I know he spent a lot of time in the US, but not as much obviously as Adam and Zach. And I was extremely impressed by his performance on the boards and his strength. Like, I didn't really know a lot about his climbing because I haven't climbed with him. I just know what he's sent outside. And he sent so many hard things. It's hard for me to like know what his style is really. He's just good. But I think it was nice to see him in like a gym setting on like holds that I recognize to like see how he climbs. And like, I don't know. I think it's also like going onto a board that you're not as familiar with people who climb on that board all the time for years and like holding your own is like, it's incredible. And that one arm catch, you see that shit?
Oh,
he like jumps. Yeah, he jumps right hand and he grabs it left hand and he swings back and then goes like this and then ejects. That's like, because the other two could not latch that, I didn't know he had that kind of latch like that.
Which is literally like what Adam and Zach should be able to be the best in the world at.
But
yeah.
Sung Soo, he was the strongest on that move. But they all climbed amazingly. Adam is just, there's nothing to even say. You watch the video, he just flashes that first climb like it's nothing. Like,
I do think it's worth emphasizing what you just said, where like Adam and Zach have spent so much time on the TB2, so much time. I probably Adam more than Zach, but Zach, has tons of FAs on there and stuff, plenty of time on the TB2. And so not only are they some of the best climbers in the world, they also have tons of experience on those holds at that angle. Like it's like a home wall for them. And then for Sung Soo to hold his own for sure and look better than them on specific moves. That's like, I think he's good. I think he's a good climber.
I think that guy might have a future. He could climb. Yeah. He could maybe go climb some hard things.
Sung Soo the
twice,
future.
Maybe.
Yeah. yeah, twice.
Sung Soo the future. Maybe he climbs some hard things twice.
Okay, well, I just wanted to put out one thing because I put this out there in the emergency pod, but because it wasn't public, I want to say it again because it is me putting more money on the table. In that video on the third climb, it is a pure power boulder on the mirror layout. Just looks nails. It's that one that we were just talking. You said how Sung Soo grabbed that last hold, blew off it. And I think the thing's hard. It's gotta be V15. It's gotta be V15.
Oh, easily. They didn't even, no offense, they didn't look close. Or like maybe close, but not like they weren't doing it,
Not that close.
That middle move, yeah.
Sorry, guys. But maybe if I put, I'm putting $100 into the bounty pool. If anyone else wants to join me, I know Tension said they'd toss a shirt in or something. Those cheapskates. You know what?
I'll throw something in. I'll throw in 100 Hungarian forint.
There you go.
All right. 100 Hungarian 100. Forint.
I don't know how many pennies that's worth, but you're very generous.
Hey, don't even look it up. Just, it's 100.
The bounty grows. $100, 100 Hungarian, I don't know what they're called. Forint. I think Tension will get a t-shirt or something out there too. The bounty grows for, I don't remember what it was called, the very hard boulder at the end of Board Lords number 8.
I'm forgetting what it's called too. It's some Will England name, like something that's very like auditory illusionary or something like that.
He's very creative.
Yeah. He's very, yes, he is.
Okay, on to the final topic, which was the big one we teased quite a bit. Ben, there's a Kilter board out there. There's many Kilter boards out there. It is one of the OG boards, one of the big three. One of the big three. I like that. And specifically
Big four. One of the big four.
What's the fourth? Which one?
The grasshopper board.
Sorry, grasshopper.
Don't laugh.
You're not the fourth one. I'll give it to decoy. If there's a fourth, it's decoy. I think.
The big four, decoy. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
We're going back. It's one of the big three. Let's talk about the OG Kilter board. Cause now there's like a home wall Kilter board. I think it has smaller holds. I've never climbed on it. It hasn't been around for quite as long. I'm sure it's cool. I don't want to opine on it because I haven't spent time on it. And just to put a little context around it, it was a big deal when it came out, dude. It looked futuristic. No other boards out there had that like consistent hold color, and it lights up around the base, which that's like a double pour. Yeah. They have to pour twice for that, right? So it's like a clear plastic or whatever it is. When that came out, it was also, I think, the first adjustable board or made to be adjustable. And I could be wrong on that, but if it wasn't, it was one of the first to do it, because there aren't that many out there. I want to say it came out in 2016. It was one of the first ones to do that 12 by 12 shape too, not just an 8 by 12. So it was a big deal, and I always have a blast on the Kilter board. To me, when I think of Kilter board, I think of fun, dude. I just think of smashing. Like, I gotta say, whatever pros and cons we give to the board, you always have to understand our bias. And the thing about the Kilter board, and why I say it's fun, is that I'm just kind of good at it, man. Like, I don't know. It just suits me. Like, I like pinches. I like jumping. I like kind of bigger, friendlier holds, which is what Kilter boards are known for. Not a lot of tiny crimps. It's more, I don't want to say juggy, but not micros. And so I just kind of, when I think of the Kilter board, I think fun and smashing. It makes me feel like a hero,
Yeah, I agree. The Kilter board, it makes me feel like a little kid again. And it's like a monkey bars kind of. I really like it. I mean, for me too, I definitely have a build that is favored by the Kilter board. So I definitely, benefit from its biased setting a lot of the time.
What is, say more. What do you mean bias? Spit it out. What do you mean?
Okay. I mean, anybody who has climbed on the Kilter board a lot, especially at higher grades, like specifically, I think at about V12, you start to notice that there are very, very few climbs which don't require, a 5'9" wingspan, maybe, because the holds are good. So you need to set moves that are big. There's huge shoulder moves a lot of the time. You're like spanned out between pinches, which I really like. I think that I definitely have some miniature sized friends who really do not benefit from that. So it's hard for them to like find climbs that are worth projecting at the higher grades. But for me personally, I mean, I was trying to climb on the 2016 moonboard in the TB1, and I was climbing V8, V9. I was depressed. I was so upset. I thought, why am I so weak? I walk over to this other gym and I get on the Kilter board and I'm flashing V12s. I'm FAing V13s. All of a sudden, people care who I am. People start to notice. Nobody cared who I was until I hopped on the Kilter board. So personally, I really like it, but it does have its issues, I think.
What's interesting is that, like, anytime there's something that really stands out for a board, it's both a pro and a con. Like, so I find the Kilter board a bit reachy in the harder grades, and I have about a 6 foot wingspan, like 5'9", with maybe like a +3 or 4. And because the holds are positive, what that also leads to, though, is like you have these big stretched out moves that require you to be very burly in the shoulders. And, if you put that next to training that you've done before, that might be like, I don't know, if you climb along like vertical granite and it's like ticky-tacky tiny crimps, it's nice to like go and work moves that you wouldn't normally work. I like that friendly feeling of the holds. Like, I love smashing between giant pinches. Like, actually,
it's so much fun. Yeah.
On my notes, one of my favorite climbs on there, that is such a fucking Kilter board climb. Like, this is Kilter board. Oh, go ahead.
Don't tell me the name of it. I'm going to guess it, but describe it more in detail.
Well, I'll put out the grade will help. It's a V12 at 55. I really think only the Kilter board could do this. It's very pinchy. And, it just has this thugginess.
Dr. Pinch.
Dr. Pinch, dude.
Oh, look at me go. Wow. I am a connoisseur, Josh.
You belong on Board Talk.
Yeah.
Dr. Pinch is, it's got a lot of pinches. Your feet cut a lot. It's very steep. It requires just a lot of power and dead point accuracy. And just, again, anytime there's some kind of feature or bias of a board, it leads to having really useful tools on one set. And, somehow that can be not as emphasized in, like a super crimpy technical way. But like, I think that's the wrong way to look at it. It means like it excels in this one thing. And anytime I want to work power and I want to have like stronger shoulders and I want to give my fingers a break, that's kind of like, that's what sends me towards the Kilter board. It sounds like for you, you get sent to the Kilter board because you want people to know you and you want it to be soft.
I'm tired of being looked over. No. I agree with that. And I just, Dr. Pinch is an incredible climb. It's not even Morpho. It's incredible. And I also think that is a climb that could never be set on any other board that exists right now. Like that is so pure Kilter and it's really nice. Yeah, that's a good climb. I agree.
Yeah. So when let's say you're staying in a gym that has all of the big three, what makes you choose to go to a Kilter board that day? Like what is it that, like what kind of day would you head to use as a training day or a fun day, or what attracts you to it?
That's a great question. I would say usually wow. I'm just very excited by this. You put this image in my head and I'm just grinning now. The big three in front of me. That's all I've ever wanted. That would be awesome.
Come to the block. That's my home gym. It's a board gym.
They have that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's incredible.
Oh my God, dude. Wow. Yeah. I'm definitely, okay. I get there and I'm fresh. I'm going to the TB2 because one, it has the hardest climbs, and two, I think it has the most fingery in the way that I want climbs. So I want to be fresh for that. And then I think I would climb on the Kilter about an hour into my board climbing session. I'd switch to climb to the Kilter. Like once my fingers are feeling like not bad, but just a little bit less tired. Like I don't want to like be bearing down like this. I would get on the Kilter board and climb like max level on like the bigger holds. I'll say, me personally, I do not like the Kilter foot chips. Like you can crimp on the Kilter if you crimp them, but for me, they just do not. I just feel terrible on them. I don't know how to grab them. Like I can fit such an awkward amount. Like I really can only 2-finger crimp them, but I feel like I should put 3 fingers on. It just feels terrible. So I don't grab this. So I'm using it once my fingers are a little tired.
Yeah, I'm same with you where I often head towards the Kilter board if I'm on the boards a lot and my fingers are just feeling kind of taxed. I'd like to go to a Kilter board for a kind of like a friendly hand session. And it's also fun if I want to do a lot of climbing and be nice to my hands, I can like set it for me, maybe in like the V8 to V10 range and just like do a ton of climbs and I just get physically exhausted. Like my whole body.
It's really good for power endurance, I think. Like if you do like 4x4s or like just a lot of climbs, that's really good.
Yeah. When you say that you don't love those foot chips as crimps, I'd say that's maybe the thing that, steers me away from the Kilter board on certain days is I'm looking for a more concerted workout or just, a kind of like a micro day where I want to tax my fingers. I don't love using those foot chips as crimps. I've seen sometimes they work, sometimes there's some fun climbs in them, but just as a whole, they're not that comfortable. And as a result, they can feel kind of tweaky. And I also think that the other thing I don't love about those specific holds is that I wish that there was more feet on there that weren't so in cut. So the fact that we can use them as crimps kind of tells you a lot about them.
That's a good rule. A bad foot, you should not be able to grab. You shouldn't be grabbing, but actually Noah breaks that all the time. On the TB2, he grabs the worst feet. Do you know that like little, like, they're clearly not handholds. They just have like 2 dimples on the edges and they're like round and flat.
Yeah.
He'll pinch them like that. Like for his climb, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Don't do that. Don't try that on kids.
Worse on the Kilter. Yeah.
Yeah. But because of that, where I think the Kilter excels is on the really, really, really steep. Like, you get less morpho stuff on the like 60-degree because, now you have to kind of keep your feet on because even though those holds are typically thought of as being more positive, when it gets really, really steep, you still want to keep your hands on too. I think it's cool how with those feet and with those bigger holds, I feel like there's more more bicycles, there's more heel hook. There's just more of that like kind of like tight tension body positions to unwind from. And so for me, when I start going hard on Kilter, I often do kick it back way far because sometimes like those really morpho harder climbs, like I actually do feel maybe too short for them. They can feel almost a little too shouldery for me. So I stay away from them. So that's kind of how I have started to head towards the Kilter, is like big volume, comfy smashing, or like steep, like hardcore body tension, where those feet that you're talking about, you need them to be in cut because it's fucking 16 degrees over or 60 degrees overhung.
Yeah. I also like, I like campusing on the Kilter board. I think it's better. I like to campus because I'm bad at it. And like I've been trying to campus on the moon board. It's not that good to do on, but the Kilter board's really good. It has big enough holds and it's kind of like you can toss around and cut feet a bunch. And yeah, it's good for that too. I think 60 is the best Kilter angle for sure. There's a lot of good climbs at 60.
What do you think about the grades? I know you just were saying something about how you climbed a lot better on them, but that could be because of your height, which it does seem like perhaps the Kilter board, especially in the upper grades, lends itself better to a taller climber. But how do you think about the grading on it compared to the other boards?
I think it's more inconsistent than the other boards. Moonboard's hard because I only climb on benchmarks on Moonboard ever. And whenever I try to look for non-benchmarks, I like put on like V12 and I go to the V12 filter and it's all people who just selected every hold on the board and put it up in the app as V12. And I'm like, fuck this. So I only climb benchmarks in Moonboard, so they're pretty consistently graded. And tension board too, I think, is pretty good about consistency. I think Kilter board really struggles with that. Like the difference between the most repeated V12 or of any grade and like the 50th most repeated
Dr. Pinch
is like
yeah.
insane. Yeah, exactly. It definitely can feel soft, but I think also people cherry pick, and I do this a lot too. You cherry pick climbs that you think look soft. So if you can be on the app and find something you think you can do, you're going to pick it and then you're going to do it. And you're going to be like, this board is soft, but it's because you're cherry picking the ones that are soft. And because it's inconsistent, it's easier to do that. But like when I was climbing the Kilter board a lot, it became very clear to me, like once I did the most popular climbs, like there are V12s that are like really, really, really hard. Like there are Jimmy Webb boulders on the Kilter board that are like insanely sandbagged. They're just not done as often. So I don't know. I mean, obviously Kilter board doesn't have the classic or benchmark system right now. I think that's a big thing. It's really hard to find things that are accurately graded.
Yeah. I'm also like you, where I only climb benchmarks on the moon board and classics on the TB2. And I don't want to harp on Kilter too much about not having some kind of standardized thing, because I know that's in the works for them. I know that they understand that and that will happen in the future. One of the tricks around that for people is they will just follow, like Jimmy Webb is like the classic thing. People are like, I just filter only Jimmy Webb boulders, and they're good because Jimmy knows what he's doing. And so, yeah, any other favorite setters or climbs come to your mind when, if you want to steer people towards quality climbs, since we don't have that system to keep the grading standardized or quality standardized? Anyone you like on there?
I would say steer away from no wheels. I think his username. I think that's his username on Kilter board. Those are what that guy does is takes V12s, V13s, eliminates half the holds, gives it V12 or 13, goes back the next month, eliminates half the holds of his eliminate, and then gives it V11. It got easier, and that just sucks. I think that's toxic. I don't like that. But I think Griffin Whiteside, that's another. He has a lot of popular climbs on there, and he's a really good setter as well. Honestly, Magos is a pretty good setter. Sometimes he's a little basic, I think, with his movement, but it's good. I mean, it's hard, and it's not too morpho because he has a reasonable span, I think.
I like how all of these suggestions are just for like V13 and up. Like it's like,
yeah, that's my bad.
Griffin, he has some easier ones.
I think Priest Draw or whatever, Priest Brawl, whatever that is. That's like the most popular V7.
Yeah.
Oh, Benny Boy on the Kilter board.
Is that
I
you?
think that's me.
Just saying. Because I just want to make sure I'm understanding the sarcasm there. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I have one boulder and it's jellyfish. So
ooh, yeah,
yeah, it's not
nice
great.
one. It's really easy. I don't have a bunch of good recommendations because I just never pay attention to who is setting. I just click through. But I will tell you that one of my favorite climbs on there, Levitation by none other
Austin
than
Hoyt.
Austin Hoyt at 50. Really good. Really good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a really cool. I like that, like stabbing out to that crimp and coming in. It's really nice.
With that high foot
almost
too.
I almost said Austin, but I can't think of any other climbs that he set. So
Okay. Sorry, Austin. You keep coming up though,
no, but
so.
that's a great climb.
Well, I'm trying to think of any other things from the Kilter board that I really enjoyed. I think it's cool that they have a 16 by 12 version. I haven't gotten on it, but
I climbed on that this weekend
oh yeah, what'd you think?
in Copenhagen. Man, to be honest with you, I didn't touch the extended holds. It's just that in the app, there's a lot, because it's way more common to have the 12 by 12 one. There weren't any climbs that came up that used them, but I felt them all. I really like those holds. They're completely like new, like they're really bizarre. But they're cool. They're very nice looking, and there's some bigger pinches, which is cool.
I now that you mention it, I mean, something I really want to point out is just Kilter board. Those holds are comfy in a way that is like this climber's comfy, where it's not that they're necessarily juggy or easy to grab. They're just comfortable in that the way they sit in your hand, just the way they're shaped, they're just a pleasure to grab. They're not awkward. And some people like that about the moonboard. They say, oh, these yellow holds are awkward, and they train you for outdoors because your fingers don't all fit perfectly in them. And I know what they're saying. And like, I can make that argument, but I like comfy, dude. Like, I don't know.
What if you just want to have fun and feel good? What then? Yeah.
Go with the Kilter board.
Dude, yeah. Oh my God.
Moonboarders are just masochists, yeah.
Moonboarders do not understand when you say you don't want to just get instant finger injuries and pain, but yeah. I think that one of the best holds ever on a board is like I think there's maybe some on Dr. Pinch, like the worst of the vertical pinches that are like a little more rounded. I really like those holds. And I really like all the flat crimps on the Kilter board. Those are nice.
Yeah. And what's cool on those pinches is that they're really, really comfortable, and then they make for interesting footwork because you can paste on top of them or you can squeeze. Yeah. Here's the thing about this stuff is that, pinching is not something that will help you on Burden of Dreams, probably. It's just the truth that there's not as much pinching outdoors. But I, for one, Ben, I happen to love pinching because I'm good at it. And so I am just appreciative of lots of pinches. Again, Kilter board climbing makes me feel like a hero. It makes me jump around, swing, latch things, feel strong. And again, there's this idea of training and what should boards be for. But just when I think of the Kilter board, again, I think I like fun, man. Like I really enjoy my sessions there. And, whatever like takeaways you can have about like not being the best training, Dr. Pinch won't make you send burden. It's like, yeah, but you'll have a damn fun session, dude. Like,
what if I just want to send Dr. Pinch? Exactly.
Ah, boy. That thing's hard too. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know. Anything we should say on the Kilter board before we go? I would love to try the home wall version at some point. I'll shout out again. My buddy Moses Potter invited me down to send her one that has a home wall. So maybe that'll be for board talk number 12. I don't know. It's hard to do them all. There's a lot of good boards out there.
Josh, I think you should put more money out. Just throw more money out. V15 on the Kilter board doesn't exist.
Okay.
I'll put another 100 for it from me.
Just breaking the bank. Okay. I like that. There's a bounty. Okay. So here's the issue is what will qualify it as being a V15 on the Kilter board? What has to happen for someone to claim this bounty?
Okay. The person has to have climbed at least a couple V13s on the Kilter board. Okay.
Jellyfish.
And
Dr. Pinch. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. They have to have sent Dr. Pinch at 55. And someone that I trust has to have tried their V15. That way we can confirm.
Okay, and I'll reach out to Kilter. I'm sure they would toss in a shirt or something to sweeten the pot too. So
we're single-handedly pushing the sport further forward through money.
I mean, last year we manifested it by starting out last year talking about this stuff. And, you know, it sounds like a joke. You know, I know it sounds ridiculous, but honestly, I do like seeing people push the sports. I do like seeing the hardest climbs get done. And I just like seeing this unbelievable physicality that requires. Like what it means to climb V15 on the Kilter board, the TB2, maybe someday the moon board.
Oh my God. Like in 300 years, there'll be a moon board V15. We have a lot of ways to go before
2084 set. Yeah, it's
right before the sun explodes. Someone will do it.
All right. Well, I like that. Lots of bounties out there. Kilter board, always fun to smash around on. I think that one of the things just to take away the meta whenever we do these analysis of whatever moon board, tension board, Kilter board, is that what we really want fundamentally is we want all three in front of us. And actually, let's put big 4, big 5, big 6, big 10. If you put a decoy board next to it, I'm happy. If you put a grasshopper board next to it, I also want the wave spray wall.
The wave next to it.
Yeah. You know, I want.
There's the quantum board.
Oh, the quantum
woods board. There's the woods board.
The woods board. Okay.
There's the soil board. There's a lot.
Well, it's a good thing that I do a board talk every month, so I got time to start exploring them. But
I thought it was interesting that you said that you like Kilter board is where you feel the strong. Like I think of you as such a moon boarder.
It's funny because I had a moon board in my barn and I have one in my garage right now. I actually do seem to do the best on the moon board in the sense of like I've climbed those ranks. I've done really well, but I just feel strong on the Kilter board, man. Like I just haven't climbed on it as much. And whenever I go, it's not just the grades. It's not like, wow, I can do these grades that I couldn't do in whatever thing. I'm more in the bent arms, like that steep, that chest, that stuff. Yeah. It makes me feel really strong. And when I climb with other friends who are strong, I seem to do better than them in comparison on the Kilter board than on, say, the moon board or the tension board. But I mean, the thing is too, is I love them all. And a lot of what it comes down to on the Kilter board and the moon board is just really wanting that move to like launch and grab. And, you know, the Kilter board, the one thing we didn't say is that a lot of Kilter board is big moves, dude, is like dynos. And I can generate, I can jump, and I don't know if I'm just deep down a board climber is what it really comes down to.
Yeah, no, I agree. All these three, especially the big 4, they're all like children to me. And it's like asking me to pick a kid to, you know, throw out to the streets. Like I like them all, and I like them all differently, you know?
I'm glad you said that, because I actually really do want to put that out there. Like any pros or cons I give to any board comes from just a place of love and enjoyment, you know, like it really is, because I don't believe that there should just be one board. The only boards I don't love are the ones I haven't climbed on yet. So quantum board, please send me one. I've actually been talking to them, and there's some
really?
coming to the US. So someday soon I'll get to climb on one. Yeah, dude.
Wait, that's the one? It has holes on the edges, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
The thing that about that Kilter board that's 16 by 12, and I think the quantum board is a similar size, is that I have stood beneath boards that size, and there's a gravitas of a board that big that's kind of cool. Where, you know, if I have a moon board in my garage that's 8 by 12, and it's not like intimidating. It's kind of like you could almost span the whole thing. And I just like that feeling of these bigger boards like the quantum board and any 16 by 12 board. It feels a little like big, dude. It feels a little imposing. I'm down with that. Like I want to see boards head in this direction where it feels less like a toy. Just bigger and bigger, dude.
Where's the 20 by 12 Kilter board?
I want to clip. I want to rope up on the Kilter board and start.
Dude, wait. Okay. I've been thinking about this. Okay. There's 2 things that I think should be coming at some point. And I'm really not joking, even though it sounds so far-fetched. a root spray wall, an auto blaze spray wall. Auto blaze are so popular in gyms. An auto blaze spray wall that lights up makes so much sense. It's got to happen.
They exist. They do exist. Oh, sorry.
Really?
Don't let me interrupt you. Keep on going. I want to hear number 2.
All right, 2 is like a comp specific standardized board. Like maybe Quantum is a step in that direction. I don't know. But like if you see all the French spray walls, something like that, that's standardized.
Wait, when you say comp specific, do you mean to have comps on or to train for like World Cup stuff?
Mm. Yeah. Like have you seen like all those spray walls that have like huge fiberglass, all that, like big paddles, campusing, like that, but a standardized board. But yeah. Wait, where is there a standardized lead autoblay?
There's some stuff being done with light up holds in gyms. It's just the problem is that like it's Gumby stuff. It's like this 5.6 or this 5.7, and yeah, I think it's clear and obvious what you're talking about. But what happens is things move a lot slower than you think they will, and it will probably head in a direction that we don't expect. Like in some ways it seems obvious. Like why isn't there like a spray wall lead? And I just don't know what it's going to be, but my hunch is it's not going to be a stretched out, board. It's going to be somehow different, but I like the way you're thinking. And boards have come a long way in the last 10 years. And when we think about the next 10 years, my hunch is that it won't look like the last 10 years, but how it looks, I don't know, dude. We'll build it. You and me.
Yeah. It'll be the Benn wall.
We'll put
first one.
Bounties on V20s. Yeah. Okay, Ben, I'm going to switch us over to some sweet Patreon Q&A.
If you want to hear that Q&A and other extra behind-the-scenes content from this episode and others, head over to patreon.com/testpiece to sign up now. Patrons also get their episodes early and ad-free. There's hours and hours of bonus content there to help you on your own path of going from good to great. Still not sure? There's a free 7-day trial for you to check it out. And to help the show grow, please share this episode with someone who would love it. Okay, see you next week.